Quick disclaimer before we get this transfer special underway. If you did not watch the last episode or haven't caught up to date with the last few episodes of the Mycareer series, I would recommend you go back and watch it because it's gone a bit mad. How we doing, everybody, and welcome to part 13 of this Mycareer series here on Football Manager 2023 with our first club in the series, Dartford. I'm Stu, thank you for joining me in today's video. We're going to round up the season, we're going to do a transfer special and get the club ready for... Dramatic pause for anyone who hasn't watched it. If you have watched it, please continue, but if you haven't watched it, go back and watch the last episode at the very least. Get the club ready for our first venture into the Football League. I still don't believe what I witnessed in the last episode, but witnessed it I did. But yeah, we're going to review everything. We're going to try and get the squad as ready as we can do for that first Football League fixture. And if you are excited to see how that goes, then please do leave a like on the video for me and subscribe so you never miss any lovely Football Manager content from this face right here. Let's get into the review, shall we? I mean, it's been a very good season. We've already reviewed it. There it is. But we'll have a look and see what the game says anyway. Starting with transfers. We made a few of them. Oh, yes, we did. Didn't spend a penny on any of them as well. They were all either free transfers or loans, which was great. The signing of the season. I mean, I don't really get this. Jonathan Page has been given signing of the season, but he got a D. A what? But he was a very solid addition to our midfield, played at the base of it, 22 years old, got a lot of time to grow into at least a League 2 player, maybe even a League 1 player in the future. Looks the business, probably a League 2 player looking at star rating, but he did the job for us this season, that's all we can ask. I would personally say that the signing of the season, probably Gabriel Overton. 26 starts, 16 appearances, 40 goals, and 2 assists. He was a bit bloody good, wasn't he? Will Evans was another one who was really good, actually. We brought him in. Didn't pay any money for him whatsoever. And bearing in mind he was a backup signing, he was a bit of a panic buy. Really solid for us. 6 goals. Scored some crucial goals. Was unlucky on the final day not to get what would have ended up being a goal. It would have seen us get a win. But do you know what? He played a good part and I was very, very happy with him. Kadura is another player who we were absolutely exceptionally surprised with just how good he ended up being. 21 assists, 4 goals in 47 appearances. Signing from West Ham on a free. Did a great job for us. We got him on a low wage as well, which is always good. Will Tizard was someone who we didn't really want to go for in the summer, but we went for him anyway because, to be honest, there was a lack of good centre-backs at that point. 21 years old. Room to grow for the young Englishman, and he certainly has had a decent season. 26 starts, 12 substitution appearances, scored a couple of goals, got an assist. Happy days. Jack Turner, also from Southampton, solid in the midfield. Very solid box-to-box midfielder. 21 years old, more room to grow. Hopefully he'll be a solid force for us in League 2. Jaden Raymond. This guy was a bit of a weird one because we signed him to play in the middle, then we then played him out wide, but he was also emergency cover in the middle. Don't really know what he was, but when he settled into the wing position, he actually did look pretty good. I think he could be really good if we can get him near that higher end of potential. I think he could be solid for us in League 2. Alfie Lloyd did a decent job when he was called upon. Scored 3 goals, one of them, the last goal of the season that confirmed a draw, which absolutely rubber-stamped our winning of the National League. That made it worth it, if I'm honest with you. Dylan Berry as goalkeeper did pretty well. Had a few mistakes in there, I won't lie, but was decent enough at this level. He's 4-star goalkeeper, he's got room to grow. He looks alright, to be fair, so we'll hang on to him and we'll see what happens. But if we, I mean, it's difficult because if we didn't have as good a strike force, we'd probably be mid-table. That's the truth of it. Nathan Woodthorpe, we signed from Peterborough Sports. This guy, considering the level he is from Peterborough Sports, we got him on an absolute bargain. Got him for free. He wasn't on a free transfer. We got him for free. Chef's kiss. Looked absolutely great for us. Solid addition, but did get overtaken by someone who we'll get onto in a minute. David Cisse is very close to being signing of the season as well, I think. Just absolutely superb at right back. Not the best rating in the world, but was very, very good for us. Ended up being our only right back at one point and did the job admirably. Fair play to him. Vontae Williams was the guy who kind of overtook Nathan Woodthorpe in the end. Got a bunch of assists. He's an attacking fullback. formerly of Crystal Palace, started to come good towards the end of the season, and this is someone who I think could be a superstar for us if we can hang on to him. So my only concern is we're going to have the vultures circling around now, I think. Harry Williams did a decent job when we brought him in on loan as well. Didn't really do well in those 4 starts, but those 12 substitution appearances, he was a boss. James Taylor, more than adequate defensive midfielder to come on in and cover for the other bloke, Jonathan Page. I forgot his name then. If we can bring him back in, I would not be against it. Zane Westbrook, let's not talk about him. Tanimowo, let's not talk about him. And this guy's a youngster who we brought in basically to see if we could raise some money. So transfers-wise, pretty happy, if I'm honest. I would give signing of the season personally to Overton or maybe even Kadua. Probably Overton. In terms of transfers out, I don't know if there's many here that we care about. We sold a couple of players. Huddart, our goalkeeper from last season. Very glad to see him out the door. Chris Smith, we moved him on, wasn't good enough for this level. Same with Connor Essam. We would have loved to have hung on to Pierre Fonkeu, but in the nicest possible way. I think we've done all right without him. If we could bring him back, though, I wouldn't be against it because he is still a decent player. Although, is he going to be good enough for the level that we're going to be playing at? Maybe he would, maybe he wouldn't. I don't know. Mundell Smith, meh. Bruthers, meh. Augustus McGiff started out all right, but yeah. Tom Bonner, sad to see him leave, but wasn't really good enough. And then we mentioned Ryan Huddart. Wasn't good enough for us, quite frankly. Wasn't good enough. Although he had better appearances to conceded ratio than our goalkeeper for this season. We'll just forget about that. In terms of how the season went, the league's on here this year. Last year it wasn't. That was interesting. So, we were expected to record a top half finish. We weren't. We were expected to avoid relegation. The fans wanted a top half finish. I mean, we beat that, but that's not the point. We did beat that by a lot. We went and won it. Literally in the final few games. I don't really understand how. When you look on the right-hand side of the form, it started out about as what you'd expect for a mid-table team. And again, we weren't expected to be mid-table. We were kind of expected by the board to be challenging for relegation, effectively. And then we just turned it on halfway through the season. Got a few losses here and there. This amazing run of form towards the end of the season is what did it. And that 5-0 win against Barnet really giving us belief. And just snatching that draw on the last day. Just confirming everything up. Absolutely superb. Our top goal scorer, 38 goals, Gabriel Overton. Again, for me, best player at the club. Emirates FA Cup. Got through to the second round. Got knocked out by Barnsley. Frustrated because we didn't get an away tie at the very least. But still, we gave it a good fight and showed we could compete against the League One team to a reasonable degree. They battered us, but we gave as good as we got. Top scorer in that competition, Big Joe, as you'd expect. Good effort from him. FA Trophy, got through to the quarter-final this year, not the semi-final. But the board wanted us to be competitive. We did just that. Beat Torquay, took a while to get past Kings Lynn, beat Chelmsford, and then Notts County, our perennial rival Notts County, knocking us out. In terms of moments to remember, the 7-1 battering of Crewe is one of them, with the biggest win. Match to remember against Altrincham, that 4-6. What an insane game that was. Don't know whether you guys saw that, but it was absolutely nuts. Gabriel Overton with a hat-trick, Coulson, Evans and Dowling rounding off the scoring. And our goal of the season was Coulson against Halifax. I feel like we saw this goal because we definitely... Is this the one? Yeah, this is the one I'm thinking of. Well, we're going to watch it again because I love watching me a goal of the season. I do like seeing how it is. I've got a vague recollection of this goal, but there have been 1 or 2 bangers this year. So I'm interested to see exactly which one this is. Let's have a look. Woodthorpe with the throw. Gets it to Coulson. I do remember this, actually. He just kind of gets the ball back, goes around to the edge of the area and just curls it in. It's an absolute beauty of a goal and very worthy of the goal of the season. I salute you, Agent Coulson. What a masterstroke that was. In terms of financials, everything up on last season, as you'd expect from a promotion campaign. The reputation hasn't really gone up. It has technically. It's still 1.5 star, but it's now gone up to regional. So it's definitely improved from local. That's something good. No big sponsorship deals. Hopefully that'll improve now we're in the Football League. And our revenue has all gone up. From £33,000 of sponsorship from 28. Broadcast revenue's gone up to 14 from 7.2. It's more than doubled, which is good. Corporate and hospitality went up from 77.97 to £119,000. Competition prize money went up a little bit from 54,000 to 66,000. And matchday commercial revenue, we added about 80,000 more pounds on top of that, which is pretty decent. In terms of the shirt sales, Big Joe, top shirt seller. I mean, with a name like Big Joe, you'd expect that. Dowling, Coulson, Kadua, and Raymond all adding onto that list as well. Interesting to see Coulson still there. Very much a fan favourite. If I can convince him to be a coach, we might look at him to be an assistant manager in the future. This is the team of the season according to the game. Let's have a look what we've got. We've got Berry in goal. He's the only real goalkeeper we use, so I agree with that. 2 assists this season. What a great effort. It's Cisse, Wassell, Evans and Williams in defence. I'd agree with that. To be honest, I don't think that's a bad shout at all. Page, Dowling and Livermore in the midfield. Not Turner, Livermore. Very interesting. Could do it and Coulson out wide. Also very interesting. It's Overton getting the nod ahead of Big Joe. I don't think I can disagree with that, to be fair. I think that is very much a solid team of the season. In terms of accolades, I won manager of the season, apparently. That was actually for last season. I've also won 2 manager of the months as well. Good times. In terms of the fans player of the season, it's Overton, as well as the young player of the season. Young player of the season at 19 years of age. Don't know why I felt the need to repeat that. I just did. I felt like rolling with it. Signing of the season, Jonathan Page. Again, I think that should be a hat-trick for Gabby Overton. I think he deserves that, but maybe it's because he's on loan. I don't know. Luke Coulson, we already saw, got the goal of the season. 30 years old now. It's probably going to be the last of the major involvement he has. We'll try and keep him around the club, though. Top goal scorer with 40 goals is Gabby Overton. Assists is George Dowling with 23. Player of the match awards is Luke Coulson with 8. Highest average rating is Overton with 7.4. And most passes completed per 90 minutes with 58 is Ethan Wassell. Let's have a quick look at the competition awards. Did we get any? We did. Vanarama National League South Player of the Season, Big Joe. Not this season. That's last season. Big Joe getting that award. And to be fair, he was incredible last season, even before he joined us. In terms of record breakers, again, take these with a pinch of salt. This only started from last season. So this is breaking what happened last season. 40 goals by Gabriel Overton is the best return for a player in a season. 38 in the league is the best of that as well. Most goals by a player in a match with Big Joe getting 4. Gabby Overton did get that as well, but Big Joe obviously did it first. Same with the most goals by a player in a league match. Assists by a player in a season, 23, George Dowling. Good times. Most player of the match awards with 8. Gabby Overton, so him and Luke Coulson must have shared that award. But Gabby Overton, also our youngest player apparently, only 19, but at the time he was 18 years and 308 days old. Fair play to him. And I don't think you can see these ones because my big head is in the way. Fastest goal was Big Joe at 20 seconds. I think I remember that. I remember being shocked by it. And the youngest goal scorer at 308 days and 18 years, what a way to say that, Stu, was Gabby Overton. History in the making. I'm still shocked that we won that. I was very much halfway through the season thinking playoffs will do. We'll get into the playoffs, we'll go out heroically, and then we'll rebuild next season, and we'll have the club in a better position. Now, stuff that we're going to just do, we're going to cheat code and go all the way through. Right, we know about the dynamic timeline. Let's have a look through. So, got around here, I think, for last season. And then we moved on. Yeah, Dylan Berry was signed, Kadua, Page. We signed Owen Hesketh, all returned from loan later on. We got Tizard, we got Jaden Raymond. We got to 100 games against Altrincham where we beat them 5-2, which was nice. We won the National League, and then Overton breaking some records. Lovely, lovely, lovely. There's my trophies. I love this. I've never looked at this, actually. Major trophies in here, major awards here. Manager of the season, last season. I'd quite like to win it this season as well, if that's okay. I think I deserve it. But that is that. Season review completed. And, I mean, there it is again if we wanted to look at it. Players inducted into the best 11. Huddart is still technically there, as is Bonner. Evans is now in there along with, I don't know if Wassell was there last season. Winter is still there as well. Page now there, alongside Livermore and Dowling. And Coulson and Fonkeu supporting Radari. I mean, Radari was here for half a season, and the impact he left was utterly ridiculous. In terms of the supporter profile, the core fan base has gone down a little bit, but we've picked up more fair weather and casual fans. I don't really know what that means for the club. I mean, our core fan base has dropped, but we've got more people who just turn up randomly. We've got more casual fans who will come out to a game every now and then. It's quite interesting that that's happened. My phone is ringing. Bear with me 2 seconds, and I'll be back. And I'm back. I can't remember what we were talking about, but as we're on the screen, I'm going to talk. I'm going to guess it was something to do with that kind of stuff. In terms of the fans, I don't know if there's anything different on here. For us to be defensively solid, direct, counter-attacking, better, it's all the same, isn't it? I think it's pretty much all the same. Okay, fine, that's all good. I mean, we've got more social media followers, so greetings, Twitter. So everything has been rosy this season. Club visions and expectations. They want us to, well, attacking, direct, entertaining, counter-attacking. Don't want much, do they? Work within the wage budget. And then they want us to attempt to avoid relegation. That's crucial, because that means if we do get relegated, we might be okay. As long as we put up a good fight, that is the main thing. And then they want us basically to continue to do that, assuming we stay up. So we'll negotiate it, even though we're not actually going to do anything. They have added all of these. So they want us to be attacking, direct, entertaining, and counter-attack. That's a lot to ask. They want us to go down fighting, basically. I mean, look, Santa himself wants us to go down fighting. I mean, his name's Dave there, but that is Santa. Well, I mean, if we remove any of these, it's going to go, you have to do it. And they're all favoured anyway, so we'll just say we'll do it. End of next season, by the way, is when our contract expires. So it is worth keeping an eye on that. In terms of the season team meeting, we are expected to fight bravely against relegation. We're going to have to tell the players very similar that. So what do we say? What do we say? I want to say that we'll be good enough not to be in a relegation battle. The additions to this actually make it a little bit confusing. I'm going to say that one. Right, we'll raise our hands. We'll say that one. We've recovered that a little bit. We'll outstretch the arms. And then we'll say that one as well. Say that one. Well, it started badly, but we recovered it. That's the main thing. Right. The squad. This is going to take a little bit of finagling, I think, because we are going to have to try and rebuild this team to a League 2 team. And I think we've got some good components here. But I do think we're going to have to make some additions. So if we don't bring in any additions and we let all of our loan players go and we let go of Zane Westbrook, this is what we've it's what we got left. So we know for a fact we have got full cover at fullback at the moment. Now that doesn't necessarily mean they're the players we'll go with. Matty Bowman we'll probably try and get rid of. We have got two centre backs for next season. It's Wassell and Tizard. I've not made a decision on Will Evans, even though he's been really good for us. He is 32. His what is his natural fitness? Yeah, natural fitness isn't very high, so we do have to bear that in mind. And of course, we do have Harry Williams on loan. I will say there are a few players I would like to bring back on their loans if I can, but it's dependent on what we see out in the transfer market. If we see some decent players out there, we might not bring some of them back. Like at the moment, Gabriel Overton looks like the best option. I don't know whether he will be the best option, to be completely honest. One question I do have is, are all of these players still on part-time contracts? Because surely we are going to have to go to Will Evans and have a look, for example. That's the worst way to do it. What I want to do is look at his current contracts. Part-time contract. We're going to have to shift everyone, aren't we? Which is a bit of a problem, because that's going to eat into our budget, because they all want proper big boy contracts, aren't they? Unless we do it now, and maybe, just maybe, we get lucky, and none of them want that big a rise, because technically we're still in the season. Maybe, I don't know. In terms of the finances, we've currently got £5 available to us per week. The transfer budget is ridiculous. I think that transfer budget is going to be going all the way over here. And we're going to end up with a massive amount of money. Bearing in mind as well, we've got the players who are going to be going. So assuming that the loan players go, I mean, we try to get as many of them in on no fee as possible. So there's 80,000 there, £275 a week there. So £80 a week, 275. So let's call it 350, and that's not exact, but let's lowball it. 350 plus another 350 there, so that's 700. Plus another 425, that's 1100, 1175, something like that. My maths might not be completely perfect there. That's another over £1,100 we've made there with players who are going to be leaving. And then if we let Zane Westbrook go, that's another £275 there as well. So we can make a little bit of money moving players on. So we might be able to afford a few of the players who want bigger contracts. The issue we're going to have is what's our upper limit on the players we can sign, because in the nicest possible way, we don't necessarily know what we're going to afford. £750 for players who can properly improve this squad ain't going to go very far. That's the issue. So, yeah, it's a bit of a concern. No, Will, we're not negotiating a contract. I lied to you. Sorry, I love you, but No, we're not negotiating a contract with you. Certainly not now. Otamendi's at Chelsea. That's an interesting one. It's going to be a challenging transfer window. So I think I'm going to do what I normally do. I'm going to go away for a bit. We're going to finalise a few plans. Oh, this is interesting. Stadium expansion plans have been announced. They will take 5 months to complete. The capacity will go up to 1,500. I'm going to assume that that is as well as what we've got. So the seating bit's going to be increased. Only reduced. Right, we've got no seats in the stadium. Is that actually what that means? Does that actually mean that we've got 32 seats? That can't be what that means. We can't go into this season. Surely we can't go into this season. I'm having a look and see if there's any stadium rules in here, because I'm a bit concerned, if I'm being honest. Right, stadium requirements. Minimum stadium capacity 5,000. Minimum seating capacity 2,000. So I'm hoping that means that we'll have 1,500 on top of what we currently have, which would be just about 2,000. We cannot go until October without any seating. Surely we can't. Surely we can't. It's going to cost us so much money. I mean, we've got £850,000 in grant, but we don't have enough money to cover. Okay, the finances are already worrying me a little bit, because again, we've got £500,000 in the bank. I'm going to go away and focus on transfers. None of this is my problem. This is all higher-up's problem. I'm going to go away and worry about transfers and try and sort this squad out. When I have something concrete to give you or anything interesting comes up, I'll be right back. Well, progress into signing new players has been a little bit thin on the ground, but we have been focusing on a couple of other things as well. The main thing has been tying some players down to new contracts, and I believe that entire run of players there we have now offered new deals to. If we have a look at their contract details, it will say full-time contract. So I think that's all of these guys down to Dylan Berry. I don't know whether did we offer one to... We haven't offered one to Dylan Berry. I think we might offer one to Dylan Berry, because in the nicest way, he can still grow. He did make a bunch of mistakes last season, but I do think he can grow into a decent keeper. So do you know what? We might offer him a new contract right here, right now. We obviously want to get players onto full-time contracts, because in the nicest possible way, we want them to be training all week. We want to make sure these guys are getting all of the fine, you can be an important player. We'll fall out with you later about it. We want to get these players training all week. We want to make sure that they're making the most out of their time as full professional footballers. I don't necessarily know whether... I mean, I think the staff have all been reassigned to full-time contracts thanks to my director of football, or the technical director, I can't remember who is in charge of it. But we've got someone looking after staff renegotiations. I believe he has been doing that, whoever he is. It's he, might be a she, I don't know. But yeah, he wants a lot of money, which is really annoying. I don't want him to want as much money. I'll put him up. I mean, he's got to have release clauses, so we'll go for them. He's going to reject this first time out. We'll pop in a Team of the Year bonus as well, just to see whether this will sweeten the deal. I don't know how much is a good contract for this level. I should probably have a look around at some clubs. But yeah, I mean, the loyalty bonus, I don't want to pay that much. I'd rather not go above 1,500. What's he currently on a week? What is he currently on? He's currently on 400. So 450 is a pay rise. So let's see whether we can get him to have that. Let's try that. Let's see what... Put that up by one. Will he go for that? He'll go for that. Okay, beautiful. Right, he's signed to a new deal as well, hopefully. So that first group of players there are all signed to a new deal. George Dowling wants a ridiculous amount of money to re-sign, which is really frustrating, because I want to keep him, but he wants so much money that it might not be worth doing. I mean, I don't think I can re-offer him a contract anyway, because we've recently done it. But there's still a lot of players in this team who don't have a new contract yet. The youngsters I want to renegotiate, but they want top dollar for it. But after those renegotiations, we've still got £11,500 per week on the wage budget. Now, there is a player we have signed. He hasn't joined the club yet, so I don't know whether it will show up on here. It's not going to, is it? There is a player who we've signed. I just cannot remember. I don't think it was a while ago as well, so I don't think we'll be able to find it. Let me have a quick look around and see if I can find him. Found him. Here he is. It's Donnell McNeely. He is from Chelsea. A bunch of clubs were in for him. We saw how many clubs were in for him, and we just thought, let's just go for him. Let's just go in there, and we managed to sign him to a deal. Can't remember exactly what the contract is. Same approach to sign. Yeah, we've already done it. I was going to say, we've already signed him. I don't know why that's still there as an option. Either way, we kind of went in and thought, well, this is the kind of player we wouldn't be able to sign as a non-league club. But now we're in the Football League. Let's flex those Football League muscles and see whether we can get him in. And we have. He has, I mean, at the end of the day, I don't know if he's going to be any good. He's got some decent mentals, decent physicals. His technicals leave a little bit to be desired, but he is 18 years old. So he should be good enough that he'll get regular football for us. So we'll see whether he can do a job. Hopefully he can, but he's the only signing we've got confirmed in. We do have Zane Westbrook on the way out of the club. We're waiting for him to completely agree a contract with Southend. £20,000 will be coming into the club. So all of the wage budget, all of the transfer budget, has gone to the wage budget. So we have very much doubled down on the idea of free transfers this season. This is a list of players who are either going to be released at the end of this season or are from last season, and I haven't altered it. I'm not 100% sure. Some of them I think actually are for this season. So I do need to go through these and have a look and see who are the best players here. But yeah, it's difficult because I need to try and reframe what players we need, because we want to try and stay up if we can. But I feel like this season is mostly going to be, let's give a good account of ourselves while we bravely go down fighting in the sinking ship. So I'm going to go forward. If anything happens between now and the 1st of July, I will let you know, but if not, I will see you on the 1st of July. And at that point, we'll try and bring some exciting new players in. Hopefully. Okay, this doesn't necessarily mean we're going to do anything, but the moment has come where we're starting to get some job offers. We've got 2 here. I'll let you know now, we're not going to be taking either of them, but I'm still kind of excited by it. Southend in the National League have offered us an interview. We are obviously not going to take that because we're not going to be in the National League next season. We're going to be in the Football League. But also, Tranmere, currently of League 1, but relegated to League 2. So if we took that job, we would end up in the same league as Dartford. I don't know if I can do that to my boys at Dartford. I don't know if I could turn over and jump in. Bearing in mind, Tranmere being relegated would mean they would have a really good shot next season of getting promoted. They'd have a really good shot at it. I mean, we can't see their squad properly, but if we look at the wages that they're paying, it's chalk and cheese. I mean, most of their players are on over £1,000 a week. We can now offer, by the way, up to about £2,500 a week for a player. So we have got that we need to remember. I mean, I've got no bearing of what level these players are at. They've got a bunch of old men. That's the only thing I will say. Lots of players over the age of 30, which we've been avoiding at Dartford. I mean, I said we weren't going to take anything. But that's a real opportunity to get promoted to League 1 next season. Because, again, they've just gone down. What's their recent history? Are they... We have a look at... Not the thing I want. I want to have a look at their... Just the leagues. Can I just see leagues? Domestic leagues, it's right there, Stu. So, all the way back in the 90s, 2000, like beginning of 2000, they were Championship. They've been League 1 for ages. Then they've been League 2, National League, League 2, 1, 2, 1. Bit of a yo-yo club. They're not necessarily guaranteed to go straight back up, but every time they go up, they kind of come back down. That kind of puts me off of it a little bit. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to decline Southend. We're going to do the Tranmere interview. It doesn't mean we're going to take it, but we're going to do the Tranmere interview, and we're going to see how it is. I mean, they're a half-star better than we are. Got the same type of reputation as us. Let's just see. Let's see what they've got to say. Are you concerned at all that you don't have much managerial experience? I've just started my career. Mark Palios, if that is your real name. I've just started my career. Let's see what the... We'll say that one. Why do you want to leave your current job? I don't, really, if I'm honest with you, Mark. You offered me the interview. Let's say... That one. Are you able to ease worries about losing backing of your players? I don't think that's really happened, if I'm being honest. Yeah. Let's say that one. I'm willing to assure us that you do a better job of maintaining a good dressing room atmosphere than our previous. I was about to say, my dressing room atmosphere is fantastic. Let's say that one. What sort of budget are you anticipating? Small budget. What do they want? Club youth system, fine. Under the age of 23, I like that. Defensively solid football. I'd like you to say play nice attacking football. That'd be great. Work within wage budget, global cause reputation. I mean, those things happen. I mean, the reputation happens through promotions and just being good. 1 year contracts for over 34s. I would not look to sign over 34s. Build a new stadium. That's a club plan. That's nothing to do with us. Next season, they would just want to grow the reputation. They would want automatic promotion the season after to League One. We'll say that's all acceptable. Say that one. Do you have any requests for us to consider? No, I'm good. Let's see what happens. If it comes up, we'll have a think then. I'm leaning towards staying at Dartford. I've got to be honest with you. I'm not feeling comfortable with the idea of leaving them without giving it a go in League 2. I mean, if we got a job offer halfway through League 2 and we were rock bottom of the league, sorry, Dartford fans, I probably would go to another club. It would also depend on what these guys are offering me as well, but job offers, yay! Oh my word, they are not moving around. I've literally just done a couple of clicks and we're already here. Tranmere are asking for backroom changes. They're going to offer me the job. They're going to offer me the job. I mean, what's their director of football like? Because he's the only one who looks like he wants to leave. Do they have a director of football? Maybe they don't have a director of football. They don't have a director of football. Okay, Kyle, you can come along. We'll let you come along. That's fine. Amy Rogers, you can come as well. All you guys can come. I'm quite happy for you all to join me over here in Tranmere if I decide to leave, which I'm not entirely sure I will. Well, hang on, we've got Madeline. Who's better, Madeline or Amy? It's probably Madeline, isn't it? Sorry, Amy, we're leaving you behind. Right, Ruth, are you better than any of the... I didn't even look at her stats. Didn't even look at her stats. I mean, she's better than John. Sorry, John, you're out of a job. Chief Scout, Matthew, are you any good? Will, you any good? You know what? Will, you're going to go. Matthew, you can come along. Anyone else? Anyone else? That's it, isn't it? Right. Confirm. Well, I think we're about to get a contract offer. Just before McNeely joins us as well, which is quite funny. I genuinely don't know what to do. There we go. They're here. Right. That wage budget. Look at that wage budget. Look at the state of that wage budget. That's... This is really difficult because... Yes, there are clubs that are going to be in the same division as us next season. But they're a club that in 2 years are expected to go straight back up to League One. They're expected to be mid-table this year. Remember, we're fighting against relegation this year. It's a really tempting... It's more tempting than I thought it was. Right, let's have a look at our contract. Because realistically, 800. I mean, it's a bit more. It's 125 quid more. The transfer budget is about what we had to start with this season. But the wage budget, before even considering the transfer budget, is ridiculous. We can't see their finances, I don't think, at the moment. That's something I will say. We can't see their finances, I don't think. I'd like to. I'd like to see what their financial situation is like. But it's ridiculous, isn't it? They've got a massive stadium compared to ours. 15,000 seats is huge. Basic youth recruitment, average academy coaching. Training's pretty good. The average corporate facilities as well. Pitch condition is decent. They haven't got any undersoil heating. Well, that's fine. Stadium condition is pretty decent because it was rebuilt in 1987. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. This is so difficult because I feel like we've got Dartford realistically as high as we probably can at the moment. We could get Dartford higher if we were willing to commit to another 2 or 3 seasons because we're probably getting relegated this year. If we get relegated this year, then we have the issue of trying to maintain what we've got. There's a lot of players in that team who've got relegation release clauses. So a lot of those players would leave. We'd have to rebuild the team, try and build it up to a point that they can get promoted again and possibly survive as well. We need to try and use any money that we earn for infrastructure in the club to build it. Whereas Tranmere are coming down to the division that we're in, but they're coming down to the division that we're in with a lot of that infrastructure already in place. The sentimental part of me wants to stay at Dartford, but the part of me that's thinking, what would I do in real life? I mean, I've got to at least consider this, haven't I? They've only got an under-18 squad as well, so they don't have an under-21s. A few players down here who've got decent wages, so they must be decent players, you would assume. Senior squads. Again, it's not really a really good way to do it, but if we look at them by value, we've got players who are worth millions. Potentially. I genuinely don't know what to do. I genuinely don't know what to do. Let's have a quick look at League One. Let's have a look at team stats. Team overview. Sorry, team detailed rather. Right. Tranmere. Worst for possession. Headers won, they were the second best team. Ratio, they definitely weren't. Yellow cards, how many did they get? There. So, not the dirtiest team in the world. Quite low down on both of the cards. So, not the dirtiest team in the world. I mean, I was committing to staying. I mean, they didn't score many goals last season, it has to be said. They were the third worst team for goals scored per game. We are, as a manager, at the peak of our powers at the moment. And Dartford, again, the club that we've got, I'm genuinely stumped as to what to do. I know any Dartford fans out there, and there is one of you who comments on some of the videos, which I very much appreciate. I know you're probably going to be screaming at the screen saying, Stu, don't do it. But it is an opportunity that, bear in mind, I've got no affiliation to Dartford other than they're the starting club in this series. I have grown to love them a little bit, I have to say. I have started to follow them on social media. I have started to try and make sure I keep up to date with how they're doing. But this is an opportunity, surely, that we, taking this as, just looking to see if I see any Tranmere players. It's an opportunity that surely we can't pass down. As a career opportunity, surely we have to be looking at this and saying we're going to do it. It's more money a week, a bigger transfer budget, a much bigger wage budget. It's a club with better infrastructure. It's a club that's just been relegated from the division above the one we're about to be in. So we're going to be one of the favourites, I would assume, for at least playoff places. Really sorry, Dartford fans. I think I've got to take it. We're negotiating. I want more money. I also want, to be fair, so reduces. So, okay, we'll have that then. Keep it at 90. Keep it at 90. Its contract length is for 1 year, so 1 season. They're only willing to commit to us 1 season at the moment. That's probably a bit too much. We'll go to £1,200 and see if they'll go for that. 1,000. What about meet me in the middle? 1,100. One more time. Okay. Well, we've got it up a bit. We've got it up to £1,000 a week. That's a dream. Dartford, it's been emotional. Boys, I'm really sorry. But I think it's time. It's sooner than I thought. I thought we'd get at least a season in League 2, but I don't think I can pass this up. I hope you all understand. I really hope you all understand, because Genuinely, I kind of don't want to go, but I think we have to. I think we have to. We're leaving Dartford. We are new Tranmere manager. I did not expect that at all. We have brought some of our backroom staff as well. We're the manager of the year is it last year? Yeah, it's last year, yeah. Manager of the year last year. I think we're manager of the year before as well. In our different leagues. Tranmere Rovers have recorded 3 wins and 2 defeats from their last 5 matches. So they had a bit of an upturn as well. Right, I'm going to stop the video here. We're not going to carry on with the transfer special because we're at a new club. We'll start in the next episode. Episode 1 of Club 2 of Mycareer. And we'll get acclimatised to the club. We'll get into the transfer window. We'll try and have a look around for some players. We'll still try and look for some free transfers because, again, we've got a bigger wage budget. We can afford some of the better ones. We'll see what we can do, shall we? I did not expect this to happen, but happen it has. Dartford fans, please forgive me, but please understand. We've had to move. This was never a one-club save. It's all about the career of the manager, and it's more money at a club that's going to at least be a League 2 club for years to come, possibly even go back to being a League 1 club. We'd have to spend a long time building Dartford up to that point. I would have loved to have given it a go at Dartford for a little bit longer, but in the nicest way, we've got to do what's right for our career. It's more money. It's at a club that's got a bigger profile. We're having to do it. I'm excited, but I'm also a bit gutted as well. But again, from the selfish manager's point of view, we might have just avoided having a relegation on our CV. Because I think we would have really struggled at Dartford in League 2 this season. I think we have taken them, to use the old stereotypical phrase, taken them as far as we can. So, let's see how we do in the next video. Let's see how things look at Tranmere. And fingers crossed, things look okay. Thank you very much for watching this relatively short episode, shorter than was expected. If you enjoyed, please do leave a like on the video. If you're excited to see how we get on at Tranmere, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss any of the content from the channel. I've been Stu, you guys have been awesome, and I will catch you in the next video. Cheers.